Austin, I hope you won't mind my telling the audience, but as you've been speaking, you've had a tear in your eye. Austin is nodding.
Yeah, I've had a few of those this week.
As we come to the end of the service, Austin Ivory, your reflections on a remarkable morning.
A very Francis funeral, massive, huge numbers of people, a bright sunny day, a full-on liturgy, Everything was on a huge scale. I felt a fraternal moment. I felt a moment of unity here today among all these world leaders, and I think Francis would have been delighted that we perhaps saw a little bit of God's view of the world, that we are all one human family, and that's what he was trying to communicate all the time. I think he would have been very pleased.
Well, as the crowds from St. Peter's Square slowly start to disperse, there are still many hundreds of people, thousands of people I should say, who are still milling around and will be anxious to catch a glimpse of the procession of the coffin when it starts. But before that, I'd like to go to my colleague Mariam Mushiri, who's with some of the crowds in the square. Mariam.
Thank you, Francis, as they carried the coffin back into St. Peter's Square. Well, I found some people who watched the funeral service with us, and here we have Emiliano and Agnese. Emiliano, you are from Rome.
And yeah, we hope all the best, of course, because we really hope that the words, the sentences that Pope Francisco said and in the past will remain in the mind of the people. So I hope really this.
Thank you very much, Emiliano and Agnese. Thank you very much. And here we have a big group of young scouts who've come all the way from Parma. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm going to speak to you, Alessandro. You've been volunteered to speak to me. Why are you here?
We are here firstly for the Jubilee, but it happened this tragedy, and now we are here to pay respects to the Pope.
Tell me a little bit about what the Pope meant to you as a group, because you were supposed to come here for the Jubilee Catholic Youth celebrations. You're here at his funeral. What did he mean to you?
To me, it means that we were about to do a lot of fun things, and we think what to do in the future to bring his message even after his death.
Alessandro, thank you so much, and thank you all of you for waiting so patiently to speak to us. You can say goodbye to us now. I know you want to buy a couple of nuns who've come all the way from Nigeria, Sister Beatrice and Sister Lucy. Thank you so much for staying and talking to us. And I was.
For me, the loss of Papa Francis is a great loss.
I saw him during Mass in the screen and on the altar. So now I was thinking I will see him again. So if I remember, he's no longer there at Mass.
I saw you waving goodbye to him, Sister Beatrice, as they moved the coffin up the steps.
Yeah, after the Mass, he moved around on the wheelchair in the church there at the St. Peter. So for me, it's like he's so human to everybody. He wants to associate with everybody. So I love him so much. Yeah, the other popes I have witnessed, Pope John Paul II, Pope Benedict. I was also here for his funeral. These people, at least as an idol, I witnessed them. They are people of legacy. These three people that have gone, yeah, I love them and I love their way of life.
Beatrice, Sister Lucy, I'm so grateful to both of you for staying and talking to us. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there are people moving now away from St. Peter's Square. A lot of them are moving towards the procession route. Now, as we mentioned earlier, the procession will take the Pope's coffin slowly in the Pope Mobile from St. Peter's Basilica to his final resting place at the Basilica Santa Maria Maggiore